The original Justice League film that was released a few years ago may have been considered a total flop by many viewers, but when Zack Snyder stepped back in to finish up the film the way he had originally planned, fans went mad. The remake of the movie has proven to be wildly better than the original. But did you know that the majority of the film was shot in front of a green screen? Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.
Conquering is hiding from the fight.
Oh no.
Justice League premiered back in 2017, and by all means, the film was considered to be unwatchable. Director Zack Snyder was hoping to breathe new life into the franchise, but he ended up having to leave the project before the movie was completed. This left most fans devastated, as I'm sure all of us were dying to see what Zack was going to do with the movie. In the end, Joss Whedon was asked to take over the role of director. This proved to be a devastating mistake. Joss went back on everything that Zack had done thus far and removed many of the greatest aspects of the film. While we can't speak too harshly toward him, as the production team and Warner Bros. Are also to blame, the movie that was released was a total disgrace to what Zack had originally planned. The movie was supposed to be dark, suspenseful, and mysterious. However, once Joss Whedon got a hold of it, the movie became much more lighthearted, and many of the movie's starring characters, such as Batman, nearly had their entire story arcs cut. Batman was supposed to be one of the most fearsome members of the Justice League. However, he was transformed into somewhat of a joke that served little purpose in the overall story. Thankfully, years later, Zack has now been given a chance to go back and finish the film the way he wanted to from the very beginning. Warner Bros. Has allowed him to take the film back to the post-production stages, giving him the opportunity to reshoot many of the most iconic scenes from the movie, with all of the original cast members returning to help out. He was given a budget of $70 million to bring the film back to life, and he certainly seems to have done an amazing job. The new 4-hour version of the film is a dramatic contrast from what the movie was originally. Fans could not be happier with the new outcome of the film. Did you know that almost the entire film was shot on a green screen, with most of the natural elements and landscapes being computer generated? The first film was highly criticized for its bad CGI, but Zack Snyder was given the opportunity to fix this as well, helping to completely remake the CGI elements of the film and bring them into the modern age of cinema. I'm not too sure what Zack did to light a fire in the pants of these special effects artists, but this film is hardly recognizable anymore. It's such a masterpiece now that Zack has been allowed to finish what he started. I know Joss was doing the best with the hand he had been dealt all those years ago, but gosh, did his team make a mess out of this movie in 2017. Without further ado, let's take a look at what some of the scenes in Justice League would be like without all of the CGI and special effects. One of the most popular scenes from the movie has become known as the Heroes Park Battle. This scene sees all of the Justice League members showing up to face off against Superman in a once-in-a-lifetime event. We won't spoil too much about the story in case you want to go back and watch the new cut of the film, but this was one of the most complex scenes of the entire film. As you'd expect, 90% of the scene was CGI, with the actors being the only remaining real-world pieces of this puzzle. But did you know that even though they were real-life actors on the set, many portions of the scenes were completely rebuilt with CGI anyway? The actors were used as models and filmed conducting all their fighting moves, jumps, twists, and punches. However, once the movie entered the final phases of production, some of the scenes just didn't have enough action. This led to the team completely recreating the scene using nothing but CGI, with the actors only serving as models for the computer department. This can be seen in a few behind-the-scenes shots that see Superman trying to land a few punches on the Flash. Behind the scenes, footage shows the Superman actor doing his best to punch the Flash, but he just can't do it. We are also giving a look at how the team worked behind the scenes to recreate the scene from the ground up in a computer program, enhancing Superman's moves, giving the scene a much more dramatic tone. They rebuilt the background and the environment from scratch, and even rebuilt the character models, and added a few more details to their suits, such as removing the mustache of Henry Cavill, In the end, you can hardly tell the scene wasn't truly shot in the real world. Do you know how Batman and Superman are known for wearing capes? It's kind of their thing, right? Well, the capes you see in the movie do not actually exist in the real world. Yes, you heard me right. The capes in the film are completely CGI. This may sound a bit crazy. After all, what realistic reason could there be to not film the movie with real capes? Apparently, the crew didn't want to risk the capes tripping the actors or causing some other types of danger, so they opted to add the capes into the scenes long after filming had concluded. This may be a bit difficult to understand, but just think about it. These guys are performing all sorts of dangerous stunts, moves, and jumps. Can you imagine how bad it would be if their cape managed to get snagged on a portion of the set? Not only would it bring the whole set topping down, but it could also rip or cause the actor to fall, potentially leading to a serious injury. I'm sure the crew tossed around the idea of omitting the capes entirely, but what would Batman be without his cape? Superman has proven over the years that he can live life with or without his famous cape, but Batman just wouldn't feel the same. When you take a look at the finished product, it can be difficult to tell that the capes are not real. They look just as real as the actors. However, after all the CGI and effects and makeup and whatnot, they may not be saying too much. But all this aside, I think the editors did an amazing job bringing these characters to life. Finally, we bring you to one of the most interesting aspects of the film. Considering so much of this movie was shot with CGI, you could probably assume that many of the gadgets and tech items you see in the film are CGI as well, right? Well, you'd be partially correct. Almost everything you see in the film is CGI. But do you remember the bat signal on the rooftop? This wasn't some CGI prop. It was a real-life, fully functional bat signal that was created just for these scenes in the movie. The prop was created not only to serve as a placeholder for CGI, but it was life-sized and actually worked. Zack Snyder requested that the light be created to add a bit of realism to the movie. And in the end, the crew had come up with a design for a bat signal that could actually be blasted into the night sky if need be. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.